We're going to talk about the help that's available in Microsoft Excel. We'll go online and look at the online help and the search capabilities and see that the online help also provides us with access to templates and images. Back in the worksheet, we'll look at help with functions, and we'll go to the Backstage area where we can again access the online help. There's a place called Getting Started to get you oriented in 2010. There's a button that takes you online again to get you some contact numbers for Microsoft, and that has some other features and functionality we'll go through. Backstage Help is also a place to get to the option settings for Excel, and it's a place to check for updates to keep your Excel version current. There are a couple different ways to access the online help. As in everything in Excel, there's always more than one way to do it. One way is to press F1. I get taken to the online help. I'm going to left click the X and close the dialog box. Another way is to left click the blue question mark. I get the online help again. So this is the online help landing page. In order to open up the table of contents, left click this book. It says show table of contents. You left click it, and that's exactly what we get. This is sort of a folder structure of the online help topics. When you left click one of these, you'll download the issues that are within that particular folder. Left click one of these, and you'll get the help that's associated with that topic. This one is creating accessible PDFs. There are hyperlinks embedded within the text that get you even more information about the particular topic that you've pulled up. If this is what you are after, you can then left click the table of contents book and close that so that you are just looking at the help content that you ultimately need. You can print the content, and you can also left click this pin to make it so this dialog box will remain open when you go back in your workbook to work. So this dialog box stays open and is available for reference as you're working. The search capabilities, I'm going to left click the drop down and get the search. There's online content, and there is content available within the computer that came with your application itself. You can see the topics. It's a way to narrow the scope or increase the scope, depending upon what your starting point is, of the information that is searched through when you put a search topic in this area here. Sparklines is a new functionality of 2010. I'm just going to put that in there, hit enter, see what pops up. I get a lot of information on Sparklines, of course. Another thing that's accessible in the online help is images. I'll left click images. I'm taken to a page. I've got clip art, photographs, and animations that I can download and increase the visual appeal or impact of my spreadsheet. There's also a hyperlink to get to templates. Templates are workbooks that have been developed and created by other people that are available for anybody to use for their own purpose. It's not a bad place to do some searching and look at some mock-ups of some solutions that other people have come up with. It may help you with your own solution, or you can actually obviously use that as your solution. So back in the workbook, one of the things that you invariably will end up doing is using some functions, maybe many functions. Those functions are listed and are accessible on the Formulas tab in the Function Library group. With these functions, and there's about 350 of them, I'll left-click the financial functions, left-click Future Value, and pull up the function wizard. There is help available on every single one of those almost 350 functions. By left-clicking Help on this function, you'll get a dialog box, provide some information about the function, and can help you understand what the function does and how to use that particular function. Back in the workbook again, we're now going to go to the Backstage Help area by pressing the Alt-F-H key. I'm going to left-click to get rid of those letters near the icons. The first thing we see is the big blue question mark, which will take us to online help. We've already been there. We can also get there by pressing F1. We've seen that. The next choice we have on the list is Getting Started. I'll left-click that, and we're taken to a website where you can watch some information about getting you oriented in Excel 2010. It talks about the new features, and there's some other content out there that helps get you oriented in this new version of Excel. Back in the Backstage Help area, the next choice we have is Contact Us. I'll left-click that. I'm taken to a website that has a lot of functionality out here. You can contact Microsoft directly. They do provide you with a phone number to talk to the company itself. I'll left-click and close that dialog box. You can also ask a question or put a word in there. I'm doing Sparklines again. I get some content related to the keywords that are put within the phrase of the sentence. In this case, it's just one word. I'll close that and open this up a bit. It's also a place to go to the Microsoft Community forums, and I've left a trail for myself to go to Office 2010, and this is a place where you can ask questions and hopefully get some answers that are useful for you, or help others as well that have questions. Eventually, you'll be able to do that. It's a social network for Microsoft Office products. In this case, it's a social network for Office. There's a version choice that you can avail yourself of. If you're looking at 2010, if you've got an older version, obviously you would select that version. Within Office 2010, you can then select Microsoft Excel and narrow your focus down a little bit. Look at the answered questions, left-click unanswered, and you can get a list of the unanswered questions. The next option that we have is the Options button. We left-click that, we open up the Options dialog box. These choices on the left pane are groupings of options that you can change, where you can manipulate and change the way Excel functions, displays information. You can turn off and on certain features. You can change default settings. It's very customizable. The last choice that we have is Check for Updates. I'll left-click Check for Updates. I am taken to a website where Microsoft can tell what updates I've installed on my computer and which ones I have not yet installed. I have no important updates available, it says. I'll left-click the optional updates. I get a list of those. You can see them there. This is a way to keep your Excel version current. Microsoft has Service Pack releases from time to time to fix programmatic problems. They also, on occasion, release functionality within those service packs, and so you can avail yourself of the most current features available for Microsoft Excel 2010 by keeping up to date with these updates. So that's the help that's available within Excel. We went online and looked at the search capabilities and saw that there were templates and images that were available. We saw that there was help available with all of the functions, the 350 functions that are built within Excel. We looked at Getting Started, which is a place to get oriented in the new version of Excel. We looked at the Contact Us website, where we can actually contact Microsoft. There's a community forum. There's a place sort of to interactively get content by putting phrases, questions in the dialog box. We went to the option settings, and we checked for updates so that we can maintain a current version of Excel.